Hey guys, Ron Douglas here. I have a special guest that we're going to talk to today. He is a ninja when it comes to YouTube and Google free traffic. I mean, not paid traffic, just free traffic. He has made a ton of money, and we're going to talk about all that. His name is Paul Murphy. Paul, great to have you with us.
Oh, thanks, Ron. Yeah, awesome to be, to come and have a chat with you today and connect. Thanks ever so much.
Awesome, awesome. So recently we ran Paul's webinar, and man, we got rave reviews for it. Everybody loved the content. Everybody loved the offer. Man, we made a ton of money from it and no refunds, great feedback. Everyone thanked us for it. And I think it's because nobody's talking about what Paul is talking about. The way he does it, he's able to rank YouTube videos on Google and YouTube and get a ton of free traffic. I know for a fact, Mike Filsame is a common friend, and he came in within the top three of Mike Filsame's top affiliates for his Groove Pages launch. Made $52,000 in commissions with just that one little launch. I think it was like a week-long launch, so like in 1 week, just off of free traffic. So that's pure commission, pure profit there that he made off of that, and beat out a lot of the top guys who were running paid traffic, a lot of the top guys who had huge email lists. He did this all with YouTube and Google. So that was astonishing that you're able to pull that off. So can you tell us a little bit more about that, like how you go about ranking these videos and how anybody could tap into this same system and do it as well?
Yeah, first of all, like hearing that said back to me makes me kind of think, wow, did I really do that? And I know I did. So it's kind of like, cool. Oh, that sounds really cool. Yeah. So thanks for that amazing introduction. Yeah. So, basically, about 2 or 3 years ago, I used to do SEO, right? So I had these websites, and then we had all these panda, penguin, hummingbird, all these slaps that were coming in. And I know you've been involved in SEO quite a bit over the years as well. So when we had all these slaps, it was kind of like a cat and mouse game to try and get back to the top of the search engines. And every time we would kind of get somewhere with some new link wheel strategy or something, we would get kind of pushed back down. And Google was like fundamentally against you doing anything to get to the top of the search engines, but there seemed to be no other way, right? It kind of was like, checkmate really. It was like, how do you do it? And then about 2017, I noticed the carousel appearing at the top of Google. And this carousel was like appearing for like different products and services and things like that. And I was like looking at it, I was thinking, this is the top of Google, right? And this is not paid. So like, this is probably going to be really, really like prime real estate, but they were YouTube videos. And actually what was coming up was like random searches, like for kind of things that weren't necessarily making sense. And you and I both know, like Google over the last few years have had to kind of clamp down on a lot of that SEO stuff, mainly because people were searching for stuff that wasn't really relevant. So the ads and the actual listings started to become much more relevant again, but this carousel was new and it wasn't that relevant, which was kind of weird. So I spoke to my Google ad manager and it was like, well, if you, basically it's free, like you say. And he said, and if you can actually give Google what it wants, it's going to sort of start filling up these carousels with your products. And I was like, cool. I said, so I can basically put a video up for something that I'm selling. And then basically I can put the link in the description or on the screen, and then people will click that and then I'll get a sale. And it was like, yeah. And he said, not only that, if you basically give Google what it wants, it's going to leave them there for as long as it's relevant. So, if you place a product up there and you kind of are the most relevant product, you'll stay there. And I was like, he just told me that I can get evergreen free ads at the top of Google, or am I actually like hearing things? So is this like, and I was broke for 4 years. So yeah, I basically then started like, I tried to hire some of the big gurus and I couldn't name them, right? At the time I didn't have any money. I was broke. So I was like, I was going to open up a new credit card, and I was basically getting on the call with all these gurus, and I thought they were going to go, Paul, sorry, man, this is sewn up. You got no chance. You've missed the boat again, right? Because I always seem to miss the boat on things. And two kind of weird things happened. Like the first one was that they didn't know how to do it. The second one was that they didn't really care, right? Like I was like, so, this is the top of Google, guys. They were like, yeah, we're doing Facebook now. I said, yeah, but this is like the #1 search engine on the planet everyone still goes to Google first before Facebook and everywhere else, right? Yeah, but we're doing Facebook now. And I was like, so it's got to be me then. I've got to be the one that's got to go and kind of suss this out. And then I just kind of started, like, no one, like, to this day, I'm, you know, obviously I'll touch wood, I don't know for sure. But as far as I know, unless I've shown somebody and they've learned from either someone I've shown or me, I don't think anyone's focusing on this. And yet it's obviously Google and YouTube, obviously the two biggest search engines. And when I started to optimize this, obviously my business turned around. And like in the last 2 or 3 years, you know, I've gone from strength to strength. Like I literally am the top affiliate now for Kartra, Webinar Jam, Everwebinar, Groove Pages. Any product that I tend to go all in on, I generally become one of the top affiliates. And obviously I don't spend any money on ads, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, really amazing system. And obviously I then started showing people and the reason that I'm now talking to you and I'm starting to connect with, you know, some of the, you know, really kind of like cool people in the industry is because obviously by ranking these on the front page of Google, every time anyone's logging into their software, you know, like Mike was saying, he might be logging into Groove Pages or whatever, and he's going to see my mug every time because quite often we won't go to the search bar and put in www. We'll just go to Google, right? We'll just Google our product and then it comes up and then we log in. Right. I don't know about you, but I do it all the time. And then, so obviously people were seeing me. So I was sort of getting my name on the map. And I often get like people giving me support tickets for software because they think I am employed by the brand, right? I'm actually part of the brand, but actually I'm only an affiliate. I don't work for any other company. I work for myself. So yeah, these guys were seeing me when they were logging into their own softwares. And then I started to get contacted and, you know, get some attention. And then, yeah, next thing you know, I've kind of sort of transformed my business and obviously started to get to know some really cool people. So it's kind of like had an amazing effect. And obviously, and in the last 18 months, I've started showing people how to do it. So I've, you know, because I thought, well, this is quite a cool skill, but like nobody really knows this, right? Nobody's focusing on it. Nobody cares. But I know this is going to help people, right? This is going to be something that people are really going to need. So yeah, I started showing people, and now I've developed my academy. We've had 2,500 students to date so far.
Jeez, man, I love it. And that's amazing. So you just kind of came out of nowhere and just all of a sudden your career just took off because you learned this immensely valuable skill that nobody was focused on. So everybody, you know, they say when they zig, you zag. So everybody's on Facebook trying to do marketing and you're finding out this neglected loophole in with Google.
I think this as well. I think it was just luck. Like obviously because everybody was jaded by SEO. I was jaded. I don't know about you, but I was completely jaded by a lot of the SEO tactics because everything had sort of like taken us away from, and also when you even when you do SEO, right, you've got to wait 3 weeks minimum, but you're now looking, if you want to get anywhere on page one, you're looking 6 months, something like that, and even then the top half of page one is usually sewn up, and it's not necessarily sewn up by websites anymore. You get all these rich snippets and you get all these local SEO and things like that. But the carousel is not, it's its own entity. It doesn't take up any listings. It's still 10 listings. It doesn't affect the ads. But the weird thing is that since discovering this, I've realized that people are preferring that to actual ads. They're preferring it to websites because people are now leaning more towards video. So YouTube and Google have already said, like, in the next 5 years, YouTube and podcasts are going to be kind of pretty much, websites are going to be going away a lot more, and they're going to be the main medium. And with YouTube, obviously, sometimes people think about YouTube and they think, you know, pranksters throwing themselves off of like roofs into swimming pools or pulling down people's pants in the street or whatever, you know, like they think about it like that, or they think music, but that is now a bit of a red ocean because like YouTube, I think, is 14 years old. So that side of things where you're trying to make money on YouTube from running ads on YouTube, you need around 30,000 hits, I think, for $100. and you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time before you can even start, right? So you've got to build a bit of momentum. And also for that sort of channel, you need to kind of be really creative. You need to be coming up with new ideas consistently, you know, and also you need to kind of spend a lot of money on equipment, because you need to kind of really, you know, you've got to kind of compete in that market, right? So it's a bit of a red ocean. But for commerce, in all, you know, there are people doing commerce on YouTube, but in comparison, it's a massive blue ocean. And obviously, with what, you know, like you say, with what we've discovered, when I discovered it, the only reason that I was jaded at the time, but because I could see it was happening, I thought, you know, to me, it was obvious. I was like, this is an opening. This is the only way I'm going to be able to save my business. I was looking for a job. I was like, I was giving up. I mean, like I say, I've been doing it since 2002. And I was at that point where I tried Facebook marketing. I had a couple of successes, but nothing really, you know, something that saved me for a month or so. And then it was back to and then I tried drop shipping. I tried e-commerce. I tried coaching. I tried coaching. I tried starting a Facebook agency. And because I didn't know Facebook ads, my idea was I was going to employ the people that did. But again, obviously didn't work. And yeah, and I was just, and it was the only thing that I could see that to me was like, well, this, you know, like you say, Google, no one focuses on it anymore, but that's, you know, everybody on the planet goes to Google first, and then everybody on the planet goes to YouTube second. So we get those as well. And yeah, and this is obviously what's allowed me to kind of to save the day, really. You know, the last 2 years have just been amazing.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Man, I could hear your passion for this and how enthusiastic you are about this, and I'm happy for you, man. It's like,
thank you.
You stuck with it. You didn't give up, and you had your big break, and now I
nearly gave up because I had when I was in the trenches figuring this stuff out, it wasn't that easy. So yeah, the only brief I had from my ad manager was give Google what it wants. What does that mean? You know, it's like, but all I was trying to think of is like, because of SEO, I was thinking like, how would the algorithm work? And we do all this white hat as well. We don't have like any tools or anything or any software. And then we wouldn't develop it. Like, I know, like, sometimes people develop software that helps people with these things, but I've always found that sometimes some of these things can, Google's algorithm starts to get really smart really fast, and it starts to know when things are coming from the same thing or do the same thing. So we do it all by just building authority. So, you know, and the way I think the first way I kind of discovered it was like, if you imagine, like, say for instance, Mike Filsaime recently come out with Groove Pages, right? Now, if you go and Google something like Groove Pages, you'll see all of their videos showing up everywhere, right? But they'll usually have only created about 5 or 6 videos because they're developing software. They've got a whole, you know, dev team, like literally going all in. But they're going to put up some exposure, but they're not focusing on that. And a lot of these startups will want affiliates, right? They'll want people to get going. So obviously, I think this was kind of one of the things that keep me in. I was seeing these softwares developers coming up, and I was seeing that they were showing people how to create a landing page, showing people inside the software, and I thought, well, if I do that, is Google going to then start promoting me? Because if I just do the same sorts of videos, there's no reason why they should rank above me. Google doesn't know that they're the company. They just know that that's what people are looking for, and that's what people want. So that's how I started to key into it. I started to just copy what other people were doing, like the companies. And then what happens is the algorithm in Google starts to see me as an authority. And we've got I think Ron's going to give you access to a training that we did together. But in that training, you'll see a plugin that actually says that I'm the authority above some of the like top brands with just a handful of videos. And all I really do is basically do what they would do to claim that authority. But I do it by optimizing for it, which I think a lot of developers don't consider because they haven't thought it through like that. They've just put up some videos. So we optimize, and it's not that hard really. It's just basically telling Google what to rank for, really. It's all we do. And then
why don't we do this, right? The beauty of everything you're talking about is you figured it out, and now you've made it available so people don't have to spend all that time trying to figure it out themselves. They can just go through you, watch your webinar, get your training program and know how to do this without all the years of frustration that it took you to do it. So what we're going to do is we'll post a link below this. You guys can watch Paul's class. We'll open it back up again, watch his class. You're going to be blown away. But in the meantime, let's give them a teaser. Let's show them. Can you go to like screen mode and show them some examples? Because some of this stuff might be over a lot of people's heads. Because some people don't, may not know.
Let me just pull up
red ocean and all that stuff means, and how to optimize. And let's show some examples of some of the things you rank for, and give them a few tips that they can look forward to learning more about on the live class.
I will do that. Right, bear with me 2 seconds. Let me just bring up. This is it. Oh no, that's not it. Bear with me. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. I put you on.
Threw
the
it
spot.
on me.
We weren't planning on doing this. And you can see
now I've got it now. So it should be.
Paul's not a huge tech guy or anything like that, but he
I'm not actually
found a system that worked and just ran with it. And honestly, if I knew what you know with this system, I would just kind of milk it for a little while longer and not show people.
Yeah.
But but you're kind enough to actually be sharing it with people.
Yeah.
Which is an awesome opportunity.
So can you see my screen?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. So so these are some of the products that we've been ranking for. So the top left here, we actually managed to rank during the launch. And as Ron said at the start of the interview, we actually became one of the top affiliates literally overnight for Groove Pages. And this is Mike Filsame and John Cornetta. And I can't remember the name of the other guy, so I apologize. But yeah, basically they've started up this company literally in the last 12 or so months. And then they had a launch in January. And as you can see, we were able to put them in the carousel. One funnel away, probably the most promoted product, like bar none, last year, 2019. And we were able to generate, I think in the first 24 hours, we generated $3,000 just with a few videos, just a handful. EverWebinar and Webinar Jam, we've been ranking, you can see at the top here, we're ranking number 1, 2, and 3 since 2.5, 3 years ago. Like literally since the 7th of November, 2017. This one's 2 years, over 2 years, over 2.5 years. And but what we do, obviously, like I said, we just create this authority, and then we've got Kartra as well, probably the biggest rival to ClickFunnels. Demio Review, don't really promote this anymore, because once I started promoting this, I then started promoting EverWebinar. But even to this day, they're still ranking at the top of Google generating commissions. So so that's kind of, this is where the big golden opportunity is. And I just wanted to show you as well, like this is where we're the top 10 affiliates without spending a penny. Now, the cost to acquire a customer for some of these is really quite a lot, right? Because these are high ticket SaaS products, right? So if you're going to go and advertise these with some budget, places like Facebook or Google, or you can advertise on YouTube as well. So if you wanted to advertise these with, paid budget, you're going to be looking, the cost to acquire a customer for high ticket products is a lot more, because the competition are obviously paying against the value, right? So that's why, it's actually quite a lot to advertise for these high ticket products. But we're able to consistently be in the top 10 for these products. These are all the same company, EverWebinar, Webinar Jam, and Kartra, for the last 18 months. And without spending, I've never run a single ad, which is kind of interesting. And I think this is maybe what Ron wanted us to show you, is like, this is an app that we put on our YouTube channel. It's called vidIQ. It's a really good app. And this tells us who, like when we're optimizing for that authority, this actually tells us who, it pulls from like Google's API, which is basically the data that Google releases to developers and things like that. So it pulls from that API, and it will actually show us who the top channel is, the top creator, and the top channel for the search term. So, and you can actually see for some of these, when I took these screenshots, it does fluctuate a bit, but when I took these screenshots, you'll see that I was the top creator for one funnel away with just a handful of videos. And you'll actually see I was above Russell. So all that means is that when Google and YouTube, when we give them a video, when they're looking to rank it, they're looking at this data, and they're going, okay, who's the authority here? Who should we give this ranking to? And if we get these, then it's going to give it to us immediately. And it will literally rank on the front page of Google. You don't have to wait up to like 6 months or a year. It can rank immediately. So yeah, and this one here, what makes me laugh about this is you obviously see Webinar Jam below me here for Webinar Jam. It's actually their title of their channel as well. And then Mike was chuckling at this one when he saw it. You know, Groove Pages, I was above him there. So yeah, so that's kind of like, you know, that's, and also the one last thing I wanted to throw in, I want to obviously respect Ron's time, but one last thing I want to throw in is that a lot of people will think YouTube, they've got to put themselves on camera. Now, for this channel, this is because it's digital marketing. I'm the brand. I obviously use this as an example to show to people that it's me. But for 99% of niches, if you're doing this for something like e-commerce, or you're doing this for anything where you don't need to be the brand. I mean, like e-commerce products, putting yourself online is not going to do you any favors. I have 6 channels actually, 5 of which I've never revealed to anybody. And I do not put myself on camera. And the main reason I don't reveal them is just because you wouldn't know it was me. It could be anybody. I could just be showing you anything. But the fact is that those channels are in things like health niches. They're in, I've got a channel on women's health, right? So, you know, so what we do is we use a free tool that just creates videos for us, and it's completely free. And you just literally drop your script in and it basically creates the whole video, and then we upload them. And we even with my students, we've created some outsourcing as well. So my students can actually just give it to someone if they don't even want to even do that part of the process or set up the channel or create. So they could choose products and services and literally have them outsourced using this tool, which isn't my tool. It's a free tool that we use, which is like a freemium tool, but it's not watermarked or anything. So you get a certain amount of time for free, create all your videos, and then people can, basically put them up on the channel, and then they'll rank there for years to come. So, yeah.
You can do this without being on camera. You can do this without spending money. You can do this with free tools. Man, this is bananas, man. I really need to assign one of my employees to really dig into this and learn this system more, because, man, I'm busy, running paid traffic. I'm busy doing it the hard way, and you're just kind of just tapping into this free traffic from Google, which anybody can do. And you don't even have to be on camera to do this. So you guys should definitely click the link below. And if you didn't get a chance to watch this presentation, watch it now, because you're going to be blown away. Sign up for it, watch it. And Paul gives a lot away for free. But if you really are serious about this, you should consider getting his program, because he has so many success stories and people that are just doing this. And you're a very generous man. As I said, I mean, I would be hard pressed to be teaching these secrets, because they just flat out work and anybody can just compete with you and do it. Yeah. But, it's a wide open market. So that's the difference between having a scarcity mindset and a mindset of abundance, because there's so many different products and different opportunities that you can use this system for. So highly recommend you grab that class below, click the link, sign up, and you're going to be, you're going to thank me after you watch that. So thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. And everybody should, get the inside scoop. Click the link below and watch that now. Yeah. Any last words? I appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, that link down below is training. I actually show you behind the system, actually reveal a 5-step formula. Full transparency, there's an offer at the end if you want to come and join our academy. And we've actually given a really specific exclusive deal just for Ron. So this is not something you can get anywhere else. So again, if you're, once you've seen the training, if you feel like you've got value and you want to go a bit further, then obviously there is an offer for you to join our academy. We have 2 live calls a week. We have all sorts of resources available. Like, you will absolutely love it. And as Ron said, like, anyone who joins the academy, no one refunds, because they get tons of value and they're always ranking videos. And, so basically, that's all I wanted to add. And just to say thank you so much for having me on today, Ron. I really enjoyed this. I was like, we should do more of this.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure having you on, man. You shared so much already. Can't wait to, I'm going to watch the class again myself. So,
yeah.
Thank you. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks ever so much, Ron. Take care, man. Bye.